morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June the 1st, 2021. This is take 2. And my name is Shelly. This is my channel, Proverbs 31:22, where I share about some quilting, some sewing, and a lot of cross stitch, and give you some family updates, life updates, that kind of thing. So I am happy to have you all here. I've said this before, there's so many floss tubers out there to watch, and I'm just so appreciative of the ones of you that choose to watch me, and all of your sweet comments. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to start with the quilt on the wall behind me. This is not a quilt that I made. This is made by a nationally known quilter, Gina Perks. I had not heard of her when I won the quilt, but I've since seen her work, not her work, but I've seen advertisements in quilting magazines, including one with the quilt on the wall behind me, which I did not know, before I won it. I didn't know until like years later. I was looking at a magazine and, she was advertising for a long arm machine, and the quilt on the wall behind me was behind her in the advertisement. I was like, that's pretty cool. So there's kind of a neat story with this quilt and the circumstances of me winning it. So, from 2008 to 2016, I worked at a cardiology clinic, and one of the guys that I worked with, his son-in-law, was a combat veteran in Afghanistan and was severely injured, lost the whole bottom half of his body. And, it was just devastating when that happened, of course. It probably was the fallish, I guess, fall time, before Christmas, because I had a Christmas tree quilt pattern. At that point, I didn't put up a Christmas tree, and so I had planned to make a quilt for my wall instead of having to put up a Christmas tree. So this happened, and I had this quilt pattern, and, I was like, I really want to do something for them. And at first I thought I would make the quilt and gift it to him and his wife. And then I decided that I would make the quilt and raffle it off to raise funds for a donation to them. And so I ended up raising like $1,500, I think, which I thought was, crazy phenomenal, because I was just advertising it. I advertised it a little bit through my blog and then on Facebook. And, my coworkers took tickets, to sell to people they knew. We raised $1,500 for that family. So I was excited about that. But not long after I decided to raffle that quilt, my sister-in-law, Judy, who at that time was a guidance counselor at Payson High School in Arizona, she reached out to me and told me that they were raffling off the quilt on the wall behind me to raise funds for their peer counseling group. And so I didn't buy very many tickets. I really didn't. I'm thinking I bought 2 tickets maybe. And I got the call, I don't remember how long it was, but I got the call one day at work telling me that I had won the quilt. I was just kind of floored, and I thought it was so neat. I was raffling off this quilt for this military, family and wounded warrior. And, then I win a quilt myself. So, and this was in 2010, I believe, because we moved in this house when Nathan was around 2 years old, and he was born in 2008. So, at the time of all of this going on, we had our house that we were living in at that time in Florence up for sale, and we were trying to buy this home. And things were not going well. Like, we had tried to sell our house in Florence for a long time, and, things didn't work out numerous times. And, I think I've shared this before. My daughter kept saying, you need to move to Rogersville. And, we were like, no, we don't want to move way out there. And once we finally said, okay, we're open to moving to Rogersville, then everything started moving along. But we ran into, just a lot of issues that had to be taken care of. It didn't go smoothly at all. So I want to say my sister-in-law sent me the write-up that was in the local paper about them raffling off this quilt. And the name of the quilt is Housewarming. And so that was just sort of, it was, I could just see God's fingerprints all over the whole thing. It was like he was telling me, it's going to be okay, you're going to be in your house, and then, you decided to raffle this quilt off for this military family, and then, I got it paid back to me, it's just kind of a neat story. So that's the story of the quilt on the wall behind me, which I think is just gorgeous. The quilting is beautiful on it, and I love it. So, okay, so I am going to tell you that I'm going to draw the giveaway winner at the end of this video. Hopefully by that time I will have gotten more comments on that video of people who want to enter it. I only have one so far. So I'm going to do that at the end of the video. I did want to share with you, today is June the 1st. Yesterday was Memorial Day. My son-in-law is an Iraqi war veteran, disabled, and it upsets him that people don't realize what Memorial Day is. So a few days before Memorial Day, he made a post on Facebook, and I shared that on my page because I thought it really bared repeating. And so for those of you that didn't see it on Facebook or don't follow me on Facebook, I'm going to share it here today on this video. There is a little bit of curse word at the very end. Just fair warning, if you don't want to hear that kind of thing, then, maybe you'll fast forward. But I hope that you won't. I hope that you'll listen to it. So this is what Dwayne posted. He said, PSA. Do not thank me for my service this weekend. It's not about the living veterans. It's about remembering the men and women that didn't come home. This happens every year and it angers me, so don't. This weekend, take a moment and read aloud the names of some locals that left home and came back beneath the flag. Go thank a Gold Star family for their sacrifice. Remember, while you sit around barbecuing this weekend, that others are remembering brothers and sisters in arms that didn't come home. This isn't a happy day for combat veterans, so don't wish us a happy Memorial Day, because that shit doesn't exist. Veterans Day is the day that we remember the veterans that are alive. I mean, we can remember the ones that have passed as well, but, Memorial Day is for the ones that have passed. And I think we don't realize that. It's not about, a barbecue or sales or a 3-day holiday weekend, which is not to say you can't barbecue or, enjoy a 3-day holiday weekend. But, we just need to remember that while we're doing all of that stuff, there are families that are mourning and grieving their loved ones that didn't come home, that gave their lives to, in service. So speaking of Dwayne, I did want to ask for prayers for him. He is having shoulder rotator cuff surgery next Wednesday. He does need to have both shoulders done. They're going to do the right one first because it is worse. So just remember him in prayer. My mother-in-law is coming home today. She's going to be released today. I don't think, I might have shared about this on Saturday, but I don't remember. They had said that they were going to do a nuclear scan to try to determine where her GI bleed was coming from. And then they said that they weren't going to do it because anything it showed would likely require surgery, which she could not undergo. So they've just been monitoring her blood counts. It's come up some, and so they're releasing her home with hospice to come in and monitor her blood counts that way. So thank you for your prayers for her, but, continue to pray for her and her family, all of us. Dementia is just so horrible, and then, to have all of this stuff, happening on top of what they're dealing with, taking care of her, and just seeing her, just so altered, it's really hard. Okay, I think that's all of the intro, welcome, PSAs, etc., etc. So let's get to the stitching. So I have a previous FFO to show you. I always show these little pieces when the new months come around. So I took this one out this morning. This is Hands-On Designs Year of Celebrations, yes. The June edition. In that pattern, you get all 12 months of the year plus 2 Canadian designs. And I always have a little bow that I put up here with a magnet, and usually with a little something in the middle. So when I took it out this morning, went to put the little bow with the sand dollar on it on the piece, I realized that the sand dollar, broke. So I had hot glued it onto here, and then it just broke off of it. So I don't know if I'm going to try to just replace it with another sand dollar, or do something else that will maybe be a little bit more durable. But anyway, that's my June Year of Celebrations that I'll put out a little bit later today. Now my whips. Yesterday was Merry Monday, and so I did work on my Shabby Advent calendar. And this is this pattern by Kiori Abatakori. Kiori. I never know how to pronounce that. And I've looked up tried to look up like the translation. I think it means heart to heart, but I'm not positive. But anyway, I'm working on number 7. I've worked these in reverse order. So I got this almost finished yesterday. It got to the point where I couldn't really see very well to do the back stitch, and so I just had to put it away. But that is my piece. So I just have the back stitching to do on it. And this is the cloth that it's stitched on, which is from Hobby Lobby. And I am doing 2 strands. When I did this piece, I was new back to cross stitching, and I wasn't really sure on 18 count. Now I would do 1 strand, but I did 2 strands on this one. I probably would do 2 strands on the white anyway. And it's not difficult to stitch or anything with the 2 strands. It's fine. So I worked on that yesterday. I will finish that back stitching on it next Monday, and then I'll have 3. Let's see. Then I'll have 3 Mondays for the rest of the month to stitch on other Christmas pieces. And then I did finish my second page on Elizabeth Weston. She's beautiful. This is Hands Across the Sea samplers. And I'm stitching her on a 36 count hand-dyed linen using the called for DMC flosses. I started braiding my flosses when I take photographs for social media, but it really helps keep your flosses neater. So I think I'm going to start braiding them just as a habit. Unbraid, each threesome that I need to use a color from, and then rebraid it immediately so that my flosses stay a little neater. But I did get the rest of the words on page 2 done, and got a little bit onto page 3 right there just to finish off that thread. So I'm using one strand of floss over 2 threads, except for the over one with the small letters. And did I already say? I don't remember. This is a hand-dyed 36 count linen by Devin over at Strawberry Lane on Etsy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then yesterday, I worked on my weekly focus piece. This week's is Prim Stitch Series Peace and Plenty. So I think we just got number 10 of 12 in this club, so I'm like way behind, but I'll work on it until it's finished. I'm doing it as one solid piece with all 12 designs. And this is on a 32 count Jobelin in lamb's wool from Woodchalks. This is the first time I had stitched on Jobelin, which I like for the most part. I am using one strand of floss on this 32 count to give it over 2 threads. It just gives it a really a cute prim look. I'm using the called for DMCs, not necessarily where they're called for in the chart, like the red on this flag. I didn't use what was called for. I used the other red that's called for in the chart, which is DMC 816. These are my flosses. I haven't braided these yet. So this chart calls for Orifloss. I don't own any Orifloss and don't plan to buy any, and so I'm just using the DMC conversion that is included in the charts. So yesterday I finished the angel's face. I'd already done part of her face, the halo and the wings, finished the face, and then started working on her dress. So that's all that I've worked on the last few days. So a little bit of news and / plans. So Devin, who I've talked about earlier, she's Devin FL on Instagram. She had shared a few days ago that she is participating in the Cross Stitch Camp event that's sponsored by or hosted by Colorado Cross Stitcher. I had not heard of her before, so I started following her. Excuse me. And subscribe to her on here on YouTube. She is hosting Cross Stitch Camp for the months of June, July, and August. And, I don't need another SAL. I don't need another event to stitch for, but my God, I just can't. I gotta participate in all the fun stuff, It just sounded really cool. So each month they will have different challenges. And June's challenge is to stitch a piece that you were inspired by someone else, like something that you've seen someone stitched, and you just say, oh, I've got to stitch that because you saw it on their channel or their Instagram or whatever. So I didn't really want to do anything that I need to purchase stuff for. So I decided to do one of the patterns in Jelly Bean Jubilee, this one right here, which is Jelly Bean Delivery. Isn't that so cute? So this is a pattern, a booklet with 7 patterns from Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. I'm sure you've seen this all over social media. I saw Niecy Lynn finishing these. I'd seen other people purchasing it, but Niecy Lynn is the first one that I saw actually doing them and finishing them, and they're so cute. So I am going to do that. I haven't pulled any threads for it yet, but I did decide that I'm going to use this little floor 32 count fabric that I got last week at Hobby Lobby. I think that will be so cute for these little Easter pieces. And she does it on a 40 count for the models. This is a 32 count. I guess I could do it over 1. I don't know if I really want to do it over 1. I don't. So mine will just be a little bit larger than hers. But anyway, I will link Colorado Cross Stitcher below so you can go check her out. She has some really beautiful projects that she shares on her channel. She only has 11 videos currently, so I may try to go back and watch her from the beginning, but I'm so behind on everybody else that I don't know if I'll do that. Seems like there was something else that I shared on my first filming of this vlog entry, but I don't remember what it was. So I will see y'all guys for the next update on here, and I hope you have a good couple of stitchy days. Bye. Everybody, today is Thursday, June the 3rd. And I'm here to do a little stitching update. I just wanted to make a clarification on the giveaway drawing. It will be at the end of this week's video. Like I said at the end of this video the other day when I recorded my first part, and I know y'all probably knew what I meant, but just in case, it'll be at the end of this whole week's blog series. I did watch Janet Jabber's latest video yesterday, and I had reached out to her on Instagram. She does a feature every video where she shares another stitcher's finishes. So I had reached out to her and asked her if she would be willing to share my my finish of Prim and Proper. And she, of course, said that she would, and so I watched her video from this week, and she not only shared my finish, but she also gave me a shout out for the hashtag under 1,000 subs club. So thank you so much, Janet. I appreciate it a lot. So I did work yesterday on completing some floss keeps, some tags and bling, and basically to go with these 2 bags. I have not listed these bags for sale yet, mostly because I knew I wanted to do a little something extra to go with them, or to offer with them. So this is the little one of the little tags that I made. And, I mean, they don't necessarily, I won't list them together, but I thought these were really pretty together. So I did add some little charms and ribbon to the bag for the zipper pulls. So I have that one, and then This bag, I added that little charm to it. And then I thought this was pretty with all the greens. I need to get, like Mama Loves You GB, she puts a jump ring on her little pendant so that it lays flatter. So I'm gonna, buy some of those. I just haven't gotten any yet. I have some, but they're like real tiny. So I will be listing those, I'm thinking probably tomorrow on my Instagram account. I wanted to take pictures yesterday, but we had really, really bad weather that came through yesterday afternoon. And so by the time I got done making those tags, it was storming outside and, real cloudy and the wind blowing and lightning and everything. So I definitely didn't want to be next to the window taking pictures, and the light wouldn't have been great anyway. So that's that. Okay, so what I've been stitching on the last couple of days, I stitched some more of my weekly focus piece, the Prim Stitch series. And I set a goal for myself to finish her dress by yesterday, and so I did work on that last night and get the darker blue put in. So today my goal was to work on her legs and her hands. Isn't she just the cutest? So I'll work on her legs and her hands today. Then the cherries. And then I think I'm going to do work on filling in some of the border for the rest of the week. I didn't necessarily have a goal to finish that complete pattern this week, but I don't want to leave the border till last because that just is not fun, having to do all border at once. So I did discover that my braided flosses, you don't have to unbraid them. I'm able to just, find what color I need, and then just with my needle just pull out one thread just like I normally do, and even though it's braided, it still pulls out. It may actually help it do a little bit better, because sometimes it'll kind of tangle up on itself. But I think this will keep it from doing that, because it's kind of hemmed in. So for what that's worth. They did release the next section of Serendipity, which is this row of flying geese right here. And so I have a goal to get those finished today. Tomorrow. By tomorrow. No, today's Thursday. I'm sorry, I'm mixed up in my days. So by today, I want to have this row finished. That doesn't seem right for some reason, but I'll make it work. Because this weekend I want to do the Blackbird monthly sale, and so I want to do that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I'm planning on having this finished by today. And those stitch up real fast. So, and it uses exactly one length of floss, so it works out really well. So what I've been stitching on these days, this week, is for my magazine monthly challenge piece, is this this piece right here. I'm not going to turn it into a biscorn U because I cut the fabric too small. And so I'm just going to turn it into a small. But I did get, I got this all filled in. I finished this flower right here, and then started working toward this this flower on this side. And these are this is stitched on a 14 count oatmeal Aida using 2 strands of DMC floss. Similar to what's called for, not necessarily the called for though. And then for For Timely Tuesday, I stitched on Spring's Messenger. I already showed this. No. That's this little pin keep from Scattered Seed Samplers, which is part of their Little Messenger Handwork series. And this is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha with the called for DMC flosses, 1 strand over 2 threads. So I got the little nest done, and then I started down here and finished this bottom lettering. So basically I will stitch on this every Tuesday this month. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe get close to a finish. I don't know if I can get a finish. Probably this month I can, because all I have left is do the tree and the leaves, and then this word up here, and the little berry in his mouth, her mouth. So that's possible to get a finish this month. So that's kind of was my thinking behind doing the same piece every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, etc. Was to make some progress and maybe get some things finished. So yesterday was my theme Wordy Wednesday, and I did stitch on this homegrown pattern, which is from Fat Quarter Shop. This was their very first Stitch Quarterly kit. And it came with the cloth, with the floss, with the bag. And then we also got the little, a little needle case, and then this little corner gauge. Cross stitch key is what they call it. Not only is it a corner gauge, but it also has the information on what size needle you need to use for different counts. It also has a thread, not a thread, a cloth counting little ruler. The only thing I don't like about it is they don't have higher counts of fabric. But anyway, I think it's a pretty handy little tool to have. So I worked on this last night, and I got some more of the sunflower filled in. This is on, this is 14 count whitewash board from Fabric Flare, and this came in the kit. And then I only stitched one day on Elizabeth Weston. And so I got this word finished. I tell myself every day that I'm going to stitch on this during the daytime, or, you know, either morning or, you know, early afternoon, just so that there's better lighting to do this over one. And I didn't get to it yesterday, and then I didn't really want to do it last night. We were without power from about 4 till about 7:30, and so I didn't start stitching until about 8 o'clock. So I really didn't want to have to work on that, you know, late at night, late-ish. The only thing I've done quilting wise is I've done half of this pineapple block. And I got a big bowl a while back at, I think maybe it was Home Goods or TJ. But I basically just put all of my pieces from both of those Sunprint Charm Square packs. Of course, they're cut up. They're smaller than Charm Square. But I just put them in there and kind of mixed them all up. So hopefully it, you know, I mean, I think it'll look fine once this has a combination of both packages, like this, and this is from the first one, and then these are from the second one that I got. I didn't plan to do it that way, but that's just the way it came out. So I'm going to try to just pull fabrics out of there and only worry about not repeating the same color in the same block, if I can. That's all I've got. So I will see y'all in a few days. Thanks. Bye. Everybody, today is Saturday, June the 5th, and I am here to close out the week. So, what have you guys been up to? I did something this week that I've never done before. I know y'all are probably going to say, what? You've never done this? I have never in my life cut up a whole chicken. And this week I did it. I actually did it yesterday. And I had planned to, I made some white beans and I had planned to make a chicken stew to go with it. And then I got a headache and just felt really bad. I mean, I went to bed last night at like 7:30. I had a headache the night before last when I went to bed. I woke up yesterday, fine, no headache or anything. And then toward the evening, I just started feeling bad again. So that's what I've been up to. I am going to make the shrimp stew today. So I haven't made one in a really, really long time. So one thing that I wanted to announce is that my stitching group, we are having a meeting this coming week, and that will be Thursday, June the 10th, 2021. So if you are anywhere in the Shoals or Northwest Alabama area and would like to join us, we would love to have you. So this is a slow stitching group, which means that it's anything that you can do with your hands and a needle or hooks. No machines. So we had been meeting at the Florence Mall, which was okay, especially during, the height of everything going on with COVID. We could really spread out and everything. But I knew that eventually I would want to move it. And so I went and talked to Miss Betty at Calico Rose Quilt Shop in Florence. And she said, yes, absolutely, we can meet there. So we are going to, we're going to start meeting there. It's every fourth Thursday. Like, that's not the right way to say it. It's not like the fourth Thursday of the month, but like when we meet Thursday, we'll count for 4 weeks and then we'll meet again. So we do have a Facebook page. We have a Facebook group for those who live locally. All of that will be linked below. If you go to the page, you'll be able to see the event and get more details. But we're going to do it sort of open house style, and we're going to make it longer. So we're going to go from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 7. I will be there that whole time. Everybody else is welcome to just come and go as you need to. When people get off of work or get kids home from school, whatever. You don't have to stay the whole time. We don't have any kind of agenda. At this point, it's just us getting together and stitching and sharing. So I'm looking forward to that. I have been working the last couple of days. Like yesterday, I didn't cross stitch at all because I started feeling bad in the afternoon. And before that, I was working on quilts. So I did work on getting these 3 little units made to make another one of these blocks. And then yesterday and then again this morning, I worked on some more of the pineapple blocks. And do you see how I was talking about I want to do it without sashing because I love that little secondary little diamond shape in the middle of those blocks. So I'm definitely going to do it without sashing. Fingers crossed I have enough material to stretch it and make it go further, especially since I bought that second charm pack. So I also worked on getting the string block that I was making, the little baby string blocks that I was making from those fabrics. And so I got that put together yesterday. Am I the only one that does this? Like, I was working on this and I wasn't feeling good and I was having trouble concentrating, and I just powered through, and like, instead of stopping and coming back to it later, it's like I want to get it done. Am I the only one that does that? Please tell me I'm not the only one. Um, but anyway, the corners are not exactly right here, but it's okay. I'm gonna turn this into a bag though. Not sure what I'm gonna use on the top little accent fabric. I do have that really neon pink cross stitch fabric. That's by Allison Glass, who's the maker of these prints. So um, anyway, I think it's cute the way it came out. I did practice earlier with some free motion stuff, and I'm not to the point where I can do it free motion. Um, Honestly, I don't really enjoy it. I hadn't practiced in a while. I did go to Office Depot earlier today and get a large whiteboard. I had gotten one and it was too small. So I went and got a larger one, and I did a bunch of doodling and just all kind of stuff. And then when I get to the machine, it just doesn't translate. And I've heard someone say about free motion on a domestic machine um, versus a long arm, that, with like if you're sitting there doodling on your whiteboard, you're using your hand. And if you do a long arm, you're using your hand to make the motions. But when you're doing it on a domestic, you're moving this part instead of the writing utensil, quote unquote. So I think it does really make a difference. So, I mean, I'm going to keep plugging away at it, keep trying it until I just say, hey, I'm not getting any better at this. So I don't think I'm there yet because I don't think I've practiced enough. Whew, that was a run of a lot of words. So I did work some more on the sailboat quilt. I got some more half square triangles. I'm ready to cut these apart. And then yesterday, my other two Clearly Perfect slotted trimmers came, the 1/4 inch and the 3/4 inch size. So now I am ready to trim these. So I'm good to go with that. With stash, I also got a few things in today. Excuse me. I went on Amazon the other day and researched quite a while on things to make the little like floss rings, floss tags type things. So I had a 1-inch round punch, and I punched a sticker the other day, not even thinking that it would like actually stick it permanently. I couldn't get the thing to release. So I went ahead and ordered a new round punch, and these are supposed to be easier to use, so that's good. I also got a box of jewelry to make the little bezel and cabochon little pendants. So these are the 4 that came in that box. So a silver round, a silver oval with filigree, and then the same thing in a bronze color. So, and then it came with the cabochons. And this box is, I think there's like 60 of the little pendants and then 60 cabochons, and it was like $12. So I thought that was a pretty good price. They have some other ones that are have more variety of colors that I really, really like. Like they have some that have rose gold, regular gold, black, and then the silver and the bronze, like that. The only thing is that I don't know about finding the rings, the floss rings, the binder rings in those same colors. So I'm going to keep researching and see I've got some other stuff coming on Monday. It was just basically just more stuff to make those little jewelry pieces. I did order like a key ring type kit so I can put a jump ring on the pendants like Mama Loves You GB does. So I'm waiting for those to come in. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the giveaway. So I did the random YouTube comment generator, and you had to have used the word sunflower, and I didn't grab it before I started. It's a sunflower chart, a votive with a B on it, and then little sunflower, 10 sunflower floss tags and a ring and jewelry. So I did the random comment generator, picker, whatever. Only 3 people entered. I really wish that I had left it open a little bit longer, but I'll live and learn, right? So the winner is Char J57. Congratulations, Char. You comment very often. And I even saw you commented on Janet Jabber's video. You commented about the fact that you watched me and you've watched me for a while and you like my videos. So I appreciate that. So she says, timestamp 9 minutes, which was Elizabeth Weston. She said that sampler is so beautiful. The sunflower pattern is lovely. You did a nice job on the charm on the floss drop, and prayers for your family members. So appreciate that for sure. So I did the quilting yesterday, but then day before yesterday I did do some cross stitch. So I got another word into Elizabeth Weston, the over 1 letters. Whew, man, they're rough. And I had to frog one of them. It's just not fun at all. And again, I waited until the evening when my eyes were tired, and that's just not ideal to, do it at that time of day. I did on Thursday stitch on my Thankful Thursday piece, which is fall inspired, fall themed. So this is the fall into autumn pattern, which is in CrossStitcher Magazine, September 2020. This is designed by Cheryl McKinnon, who is Tiny Modernist. And I'm stitching it on an 18 count light oatmeal fiddler's cloth, Fiddler's Ada, that I got from Joanne. And I was like, I wanted to just be able to finish this whole row, and it was like, I just didn't make it. So hopefully tonight I'll be able to finish that row. I've got just a little bit of the leaf right here, and then I just have the center of the little quilt blocks. So hopefully I can get that part finished. So I did substitute. These are supposed to be a cream color, and I did change it out to blue because the cream just blended right into my fabric. These are the flosses that I'm using. I haven't braided them yet, but these are the flosses. There are some called for and some my own choices that were similar to the called for. So that's the first time I've stitched on that. My Thankful Thursday theme, for some reason, I don't usually stitch on it during the week. I guess I run out of gas by that day. So this week it got stitched on. Of course, yesterday everything didn't get stitched on. So, and then I did finish, I did do meet my goal of doing her hands and her legs on the little angel in the Prim Stitch series. And so yesterday I was supposed to have done the cherries. So they might get done today. I don't know. And then I did, night before last, finish up the Serendipity, the newest release. So I can put this away until the 15th. and work on some other sows. This weekend is the BBD weekend sow, so I am planning to stitch on my little stocking and stitch on my other normal, things that I stitch on. I wanted to start my summer camp, cross-stitch camp piece as well today. So I got a lot to do. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I still have to make the stew and stuff. So I neglected to say, Tara, I need you to email me at proverbs3122@gmail.com and let me know what your mailing address is. I did have a couple of shout outs. One of the gals that's in the cross stitch camp group, and then I saw her also on Instagram. Her name is Felicia, and she has a channel here on FlossTube called Mouse Potato Designs. And she, I've only watched part of her video, because I started feeling bad like when I started watching it, and so I've only watched part of it, but I looked through her feed on Instagram a good bit and love her stuff, so definitely go check her out. Also, I don't know if it was this morning or yesterday, but the couple that have Fox and Rabbit Designs that own the shop Linen and Threads in Australia, they did their first floss tube in the last few days. So that's really cool. I'm doing the Linen and Threads mystery sow from last year, but I hadn't really looked at any of their other patterns. And oh my goodness, the wife, she designs and then he designs as well. They have two separate companies that design plus the shop, but she has some beautiful, beautiful, beautiful designs. So I'll see some of her stuff in my future for sure. So I started reading another series by an author that I talked about a while back. Her name is Bree Wolf, and I'm reading the Happy Ever Regency Book 1, which is How to Wake a Sleeping Lady. So, but there was a quote in it that I wanted to share with you guys. So, the premise of the book is that the female lead gets into an accident and has amnesia. And she's missing for like 3 years. And so her husband finds her eventually, and she doesn't remember him at all. And so, but he wants to bring her home, of course. And so she ended up being carried when she got injured to an abbey. And so one of the nuns at the abbey is talking to her about, her going home and everything, and about her being afraid. And so this is what she told her about fear. She said, "Fear is something that holds everything else at bay. You'll never be happy if you're always fearful." And I thought that is so very true. So let's conquer the fear in our lives, right? That's all I've got for you guys this week. That's it. So, Char, let me know your mailing address. Everybody else, I hope y'all have a good week ahead. And you stay safe, stay well. I love you all. Appreciate you all so much. And I will see y'all again next week. Bye.